Prepare yourselves, because what just happened is completely unexpected. We all know that 2025 was an incredible year for Stray Kids, but who would have thought that Hyunjin would close this year with something that caused the entire fandom to gather in reflection across social media? Imagine. While everyone was busy celebrating New Year's Eve, a long message suddenly appeared. It was not just long, it was incredibly honest. This was not a standard Happy New Year greeting that we usually see from idols. No, this was much deeper. Hyunjin opened up his mind, showing his fears, his doubts, and even his vulnerable side that he usually hides behind his titles as a visual king and a performance god. There is one specific part where he talks about a sandcastle collapsing, and honestly, it is quite chilling. What exactly has been happening behind the scenes this past year? Was Hyunjin feeling extreme pressure, or is this a sign of a much bigger new chapter in their upcoming 9th year? Do not go anywhere, because today we are going to break down every single line of Hyunjin's love letter to Stay, from poetic metaphors to a hilarious but meaningful TMI about shampoo. Let us dive deep into Hyunjin's heart. But before that, make sure you have subscribed and turned on your notifications so you do not miss any emotional updates from the world's biggest boy band. Now, let us set the scene. December 2025. Stray Kids had just finished a tiring but legendary world tour series. Their achievements were countless. They became regulars on the Billboard charts. But behind all that glamour, there was Hwang Hyunjin, sitting alone, reflecting at the end of the year. Hyunjin's writing style this time feels like he is inviting us to a deep talk at a cafe at 2 in the morning. He opens his letter with a very humble reflection. He says that in 2025, he received so much love. But the sad part is, he actually wondered if this incredible love had reached its peak. He questioned if he could ever receive more than this. This is so relatable. Sometimes when we're at the top, we're afraid that we will fall tomorrow. Hyunjin shows his human side here. He is not a content-creating robot. He is an artist who also has insecurities. He doesn't want to regret the time that passed so quickly. He chooses to gather small memories that made him laugh. He says he is reading back those memories one by one very carefully. This is the part of the discussion that is the most moving for the fandom. Hyunjin says that Stay is a mirror for him. Our visual king feels that he can see himself through the eyes of Stay. This is not just a regular idol and fan relationship, it's at a spiritual level. He says that when he sees Stay smiling brightly in front of him, he automatically becomes excited. This sentence is simple, but the meaning is very deep. In the world of K-pop, which is full of pressure, where netizens' expectations are sometimes unreasonable, Hyunjin finds his validation not from album sales numbers, but from your smiles at the front row of a concert. This aligns perfectly with the values of SDG number 3 regarding emotional health and well-being. A healthy relationship between an artist and fans is very important for mental health. Hyunjin is indirectly saying that you, Stay, are the main support system that keeps him grounded in this intense industry. He feels that if you are happy, he is happy. It's a beautiful cycle of love. Now, let us talk about the part of the discussion that is most poetic and touching. Hyunjin mentions a sandcastle. He confesses that he has had a great fear that what he has built, his career, his abilities, and his reputation, would collapse at any time like a sandcastle hit by waves. But Stay, there is a twist here. Instead of staying afraid, Hyunjin made a very mature decision in 2025. He said, if it wants to collapse, let it be. He'll just build a more beautiful one later. That is the mentality of a winner. He is no longer chasing rigid perfection, but he is learning to be flexible and go with the flow. This is a powerful message for all of us. Sometimes we are too stressed trying to maintain something fragile, when it is actually okay to fail or fall occasionally. The important thing is the courage to rebuild from the start. This message is very inspiring and fits into SDG number 8 regarding decent work and economic growth. This is because true growth in a creative career is not just about the end result, but about the process of trial and error and the mental resilience of a creative worker like Hyunjin. To keep things from getting too heavy, Hyunjin gave us some of his signature humor. In the middle of this super deep message, he inserted a very random TMI. He shared that on that day, his shampoo that he was using finally ran out after a whole year. Why did it take so long to finish? He said it was because his hair was short like a kiwi fruit this year, so he only used a tiny amount of shampoo. Hyunjin is truly the definition of random. Even though he is a global superstar, he still feels like he is a baby with his big heart. Interestingly, 2026 will mark the 9th year since Stray Kids debuted. Can you believe it? 9 years! Time really flies. From kids struggling on a survival show, they have now become living legends. But in Hyunjin's eyes, he is still the same young man who is happy because his shampoo ran out. This human side is what makes Stay love him even more. There is no wall between the idol and the fans. This is a real implementation of SDG number 10, which is reducing inequality. Hyunjin is not placing himself in an ivory tower. He comes down and shares small, everyday stories with us. Closing his message, Hyunjin gives a promise that makes us even more optimistic about 2026. He wants to continue swimming freely within the boundaries of love together with all of us. He promises to release more work, share more, and most importantly, make us all smile more. This is not just an empty promise. We know how ambitious Hyunjin is when it comes to his craft. He is the definition of a true artist who is never satisfied. Next year is not just about the number 9, it's about how he continues to grow and transform into the best version of himself. Hyunjin's message is a reminder to all of us that sustainability is not just about the environment, but about human relationships. A supportive, empathetic, and strengthening relationship between an artist and fans is the main key to a healthy pop industry. So, Stay, how do you feel after reading this long message from Hyunjin? Do you love him even more? Write your thoughts in the comments section. And what kind of surprises do you think Hyunjin and Stray Kids will bring in their 9th year? Will there be a solo album or other global collaborations? Let us discuss it below. Don't forget to like this video if you are a proud Stay, share it with your friends so they can be inspired too, and definitely subscribe to this channel so you do not miss any emotional updates from the world's biggest boy band. I'm signing off now. See you in the next video and keep supporting Hyunjin. Goodbye! Moving deeper into this discussion, we must address the specific way Hyunjin describes his artistic evolution throughout 2025. It was a year where he moved beyond being just a performer and truly embraced the role of a storyteller. When he mentions sharing more of his creative works in the coming year, he is touching upon the concept of creative sustainability. In the K-pop industry, the pressure to produce hits can often lead to burnout, but Hyunjin seems to have found a balance that allows him to remain inspired. He mentioned that he spent a lot of time in 2025 working on various projects, and his desire to share these more beautifully in 2026 suggests that he has a treasure trove of art, music, and choreography waiting to be unveiled. This brings us to a significant part of the discussion regarding his mental maturity. The way he views the flow of time is quite unique for someone in such a high-pressure environment. Most idols feel a constant ticking clock, fearing that their time in the spotlight is limited. However, Hyunjin's reflection on the past year shows a man who is at peace with his pace. By saying he is looking back at his memories with care, he is teaching us the importance of mindfulness. In the fast-paced digital age, where we often consume content and move on instantly, Hyunjin asks us to slow down. This perspective is a vital part of emotional well-being, reminding us that our value is not just in our future achievements, but in the depth of the experiences we have already accumulated. Furthermore, we should talk about the impact of his honesty on the global music landscape. When an artist of Hyunjin's caliber admits to feeling fear or feeling like a child despite his massive success, it breaks down the unrealistic standards of perfection often associated with idols. This vulnerability creates a safe space for fans to also accept their own imperfections. This connection is why the fandom feels so protective of him. It is not just about his talent, it is about his soul. He mentioned that he wants to swim freely within the category of love, which is perhaps the most beautiful way to describe a career. He does not see his job as a series of tasks, but as an act of love. As we look toward 2026, the ninth year of Stray Kids, we can expect a version of Hyunjin that is more experimental than ever. His commitment to being his best self is a promise of quality and sincerity. He understands that the relationship between an artist and an audience is a living thing that needs constant care and honesty. By being so transparent about his journey, he ensures that the bond with Stay remains unbreakable. Whether he is talking about the shampoo he uses or the deepest fears of his heart, Hyunjin remains one of the most authentic voices in modern pop culture. We are not just watching a career unfold, we are witnessing the growth of a profound human being who happens to be a global icon. Would you like me to analyze specific keywords from his letter further, or perhaps expand on the symbolic meaning of his Kiwi hair era in this narrative?